All right, number 19a. Now we're factoring. So the first thing that we do when we're looking at factoring is always going to be looking for a greatest common monomial. Second thing we're going to look for is a difference of squares. Then we're going to look for a square binomial. And then finally a binomial pair of factors. So in question A, we don't have anything that goes into all three terms, therefore we cannot factor as a greatest common monomial. It is not a difference of squares because it's a trinomial, but also there's not a difference. So, and it's not a square binomial. I just happen to know that, but although it does look a little bit like that because of this. So I'm looking for a binomial pair of factors. Essentially we're making a factor sum table in this case. Factors of 4 with a sum of 5. So, well, I know that 4 times 1 is positive 4, but 4 plus 1 is a total of 5. So we have our winner. So we have x plus 4 times x plus 1. For problem B, we have a really misordered problem. So we know that the squared term really should be written first. So I'm going to rewrite this as x squared plus 6x plus 8. Is there a greatest common monomial? No. Is this a difference of squares? No. Not a perfect square. It's not a square binomial, so again, a pair of factors. So we're looking for factors of 8 with a sum of 6. So I know 4 times 2 is 8. They add together to make 6. So my answer is x plus 2 times x plus 4. For C, same process. Is the difference of squares? No. Sorry, is there a greatest common monomial? No. Difference of squares? No. So we're back to our factor sum table. What two numbers multiply together to get 10 but add to get negative 7? So 10, well, we have 5 and 2. Yes, Nico?
How much longer are you going to be?
About 5 minutes. Not even 5 minutes.
Alright.
With a sum of negative 7. Now this is a clue. 5 plus 2 is 7, but I want negative 7. So that means if it's negative, if I have negative 5 and negative 2, I'll get negative 7. Alright. So we have x minus 2 times x minus 5. Obviously, if you switch the order of the binomial, the answer doesn't change. For D, well, first step, do I have a greatest common monomial? And I do. Both of these have x's. So I know that I can factor out an x. X times x is x squared. 7x divided by x is just positive 7. So I'm just left with that. It's acceptable to write it as this as well. Or a longer way could have been. But that would be the best way. Okay. Need to wait. Alright, so for letter E, do we have a greatest common monomial? And the answer is no. But we do have it written out of order now. So let's write it in order. Oh, this is just a factor sum table. Again, we're looking for factors of negative 6 with a sum of 5. So I know that negative 1 times 6 is a negative 6, but negative 1 plus 6 is positive 5. We'll get rid of. And there's my answer. For letter F is a little trickier. And here's what I'd like to do. The factors of 2 are 2 and 1. The factors of negative 12, and I'm not going to worry about the negative right now, are 2, 6, 3, and 4. So here's what's going to happen. I need to multiply 2 by something here, and then I'm going to multiply the 1 times the other pair, missing the one I haven't multiplied by. And I'm going to subtract down to a negative 5. And I know that 2 times 4 is 8. I know 1 times 3 is 3. And I know that 8 minus 3 is equal to 5. So really, I want that to be negative. So that means the 2 and the 4 cannot be in the same parenthesis. So I'm going to set up my parenthesis. I have 2x and I have x. Then the 4 has to be in the opposite parenthesis so that I'll multiply it here. And then that has to go here. And there I go. All right, last two. Last two are pretty quick. So we have no greatest common monomial. This is not a square binomial. It's not a difference of squares. So again, factor sum table. And the reason why this is a little different is because f was different because we had two numbers here. So if we're looking for factors of -8 that have a sum of -7, so I have x minus 8 times x plus 1. Because -8 times 1 is -8, -8 plus 1 is -7. Finally for f, first things first, look for greatest common monomial, and there's x. So x squared divided by x is x, -5x divided by x is -5. And there I have it.